What's good? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a quick rundown video review of the new Allen & Heath Xone 43C professional 4-channel digital DJ mixer. So I call this a digital DJ mixer because this is the 43C, which actually means that this mixer in particular has an internal sound card that is capable of different DVS setups such as Serato DVS, Vinyl Virtual DJ DVS, and also Mix Vibes, and a few other software out there that will let you use a generic style sound card such as what is inside the Xone 43C. The original Xone 43, which is also announced about the same time as this, is also available on the market. That's if you don't need any of the internal USB sound cards or the X-Link port adapter in the back that you can use to connect other Allen & Heath Xone products such as the Xone K1 or K2 mini auxiliary controllers. So again, this is the Xone 43C and it works with Serato DJ. In order to use this to work with Serato DJ, you have to already have Serato DJ installed, and you can purchase the optional Serato DVS upgrade package for only $100, or if you don't have Serato DJ at all, you can get the complete Serato DJ Club Kit package, and that way it'll give you the software plus the DVS package. That way you can use all of your different channels for full DVS, vinyl, or CDJ style timecode playback right here with the Xone 43C. That means you don't need any other Rane SL2 or any of the other Denon DJ sound card products that are coming out that are Serato DJ compatible. You already have a Serato DJ compatible sound card already built into the Xone 43C. So let's just take a quick look at this for first impressions and setup. The first impressions is that this is a rock solid mixer that we have here. It really reminds me of the Xone 23C, which we reviewed a little while back. That just came out recently, and it's basically a 4-channel version of that Xone 23C. That's what I'm going to call it because it really looks like it, it feels like it, and of course you have your 4 channels of mixing goodness here instead of just your 2+2 that was offered on the 23C. So for setup, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to the Allen & Heath website. You can download all the drivers that you need there. If you have a Windows machine, then you download the drivers, you install it on your machine, and then you plug in the USB cable that's supplied with the Xone 43C, and then you plug in your different decks to the back of the inputs, and you'll be able to select them as USB style decks to use with your sound card, or you can select them to be their live inputs, like you can use your CDJ or your vinyl as you see fit. So the setup, again, pretty easy, relatively easy. If you're using this with Serato DJ, you have to download or already have the Serato DVS package and Serato DJ, of course. Once you have those, it's simply a matter of plug and play. You'll instantly be able to plug this into your computer, and Serato will already read that you have this thing ready to go and ready to work with Serato DJ. And it's really, really easy, and the time code works really, really nicely, just as if you're using a Rane SL2 or any other Rane or Serato style product. So we'll move on into the actual mixer, show you guys the inputs and outputs and everything else that this mixer, the Xone 43C, has to offer. Alright, let's go over all of the inputs and outputs on the rear of the Xone 43C. We have your 4 different phono or line level RCA pairs for each of your different channels. And you also have a USB phono or line knob that you have to press in order to activate the USB on either phono mode or your line mode. So really easy to do. You press the button for the different mode that you're using, either your CD time code or your vinyl time code. And depending on which one you're using, you can just press in the little white button that you see there. Next up, you have a nice oversized grounding post for your turntables. Then you have a booth and record RCA output. You have an FX send and FX return RCA pair, and you also have a master XLR left and right as well. Then you have your X-Link RJ45 adapter to connect different Allen & Heath devices such as the K2 or the K1, and then you have your USB connection and your power cable as well. Alright everyone, so here it is, the new Allen & Heath Xone 43C professional 4-channel digital DJ mixer. So as you guys know, this is the 43C version, so that means it has an internal USB digital DJ sound card that can be used for timecode playback with software such as virtual DJ, mix vibes, and also Serato, as you see here on the front of the mixer. You also have the USB X-Link connection, which is an RJ45 adapter, which will allow you to connect different controllers from Allen & Heath, such as the K1 and the K2 controller, which can be connected using the RJ45 cable, and then only one linking USB cable for them both out to one single computer. So really cool technology in the 43C model. They also have a 43 model without the C, which will not give you the added USB sound card or the X-Link port as well. So there's a difference here. You can get the analog 43C, or you can get the 43C with the sound card inside. So first up, we'll just run down everything that we have going on here, starting with the crossfader. You have a nice, smooth, and really quick feeling crossfader. Unfortunately, this crossfader is not really good for scratching because there is a rather large cut-in or dead space distance between the ends or the sides of the crossfader. So that means you won't be able to pull off your really quick and fast crossfader movements when scratching on the 43C, but this is Innofader compatible, as it says on the front, so you'll be able to throw an Innofader crossfader in there, so that way you can do all the scratching you want with that upgrade. The line faders have more resistance to them, and they feel pretty good to the touch. They feel like they're going to really last. Right next to the line faders, you have your LED line level indicators with lots of LED signals on them, so you can see exactly where your levels are in the mix at a glance. All the way to the left, you have your headphone section. You have two different headphone outputs. They'll both work simultaneously if you want them to. You have 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch here as well, and you have your headphone volume control knob and a Q mix knob, so that way you can distinguish between what you're hearing in your headphones in the Q section, and you can queue up your different channels here using the Q buttons, or what you have playing through your master. This is how you mix without everybody else hearing whatever you're about to play next. You also have split Q on and off, which allows you to split the Q between your master in one ear cup and what you have queued up in the other ear cup. Really cool for mixing if you don't have a set of dedicated monitors. Moving right up, we have the filter buttons, which correspond to the filter section that you see on the right hand side over here. All the way at the bottom, you have your crossfader curve control, which is a switch which allows you to switch it between 3 selectable modes. All the way to the right is your sharp cut for a really quick cut for scratching. Next up is a semi-sharp fade, and next up all the way at the end is a nice smooth long fade for your really slow mixing needs. Next up is that filter section where you have your frequency and resonance knobs, which allow you to tweak the different filters that you see here that you will be able to enact upon each of your different lines or channels that you see. You have your low pass filter, your bypass filter, which is low and high combination, and then your high pass filter here as well. You can change the wet and dry of each of the filtered channels by using these nice, huge, oversized rubber knobs that you see here above each of the channels. And you can also switch the side of the crossfader for all of your different channels using the switch that you see here. You can turn it off, meaning the crossfader will have no bearing on your lines, or you can switch them either to the X or Y side of your crossfader at will. Next up, each 3 of your lines have a low, middle, and high 3-band EQ. These are full kill, total kill EQs, and they sound really good. The sound quality of this mixer is really top notch. Next up, you have your selector switch, which allows you to switch between the inputs on the rear. For each of your channels, you can select to be in phono mode, line mode, or right in the middle, you can be USB mode. That way you can use your sound card in order to play back your digital files from your computer. And you also have a gain trim knob all the way at the top. All the way to the right, you have your booth and master volume control knobs, along with a master LED line level indicator, so you can see where your total mix is at any glance, at any time. And you also have an additional mic input and an additional auxiliary input that you can use for your RCA cables. So anytime you have an emergency through situation where you need to put another line level device in there, all you got to do is plug it right in and you're ready to go. It has its own gain knob and its own high and low EQ knobs. You also can cue that on at any time, so that way you can cue that up in your headphones as well. So in conclusion, the new Allen & Heath Xone 43C digital 4-channel professional DJ mixer is an excellent mixer that you can use if you guys want to have really, really good sound quality. You want a really, really solid build quality that you have here on the 43C, and you also want these really nice and iconic filters that they have already built in to the Allen & Heath Xone lineup. You also get your internal DVS capable USB sound card, meaning you can use this with Serato DJ. You can also use this with Virtual DJ. You can also use this with Mix Vibes and with all the other DJ programs out there that let you use a generic style sound card setup in order to play back your digital time code, vinyl, and CDs right here with the Xone 43C. It's also Serato DJ DVS upgrade compatible, so if you want to use the iconic and popular software from Serato DJ, you guys don't actually have to go out and buy a separate sound card in order to do so. On the downside, the Crossfader is not MIDI mappable, meaning for you guys out there that want to do Serato video or Virtual DJ video, you won't be able to map the actual Crossfader to any of the MIDI movements. You will be able to use the line faders for all of your video playback and MIDI type controls when you're doing your video mixing, but you can't do that with the Crossfader. Also, another downside with the Crossfader is that you can't really scratch really nicely with this Crossfader. This Crossfader unfortunately has a pretty far dead space on each side. The cut-in distance is just a little bit too big to do any real complicated or complex scratching, but if you need, it is Innofader compatible, so you'll be able to slide a mini Innofader in there so that you can do all of your scratch goodness right here on the 43C. But other than those two minor gripes with the Crossfader, this was an excellent 4-channel digital DJ mixer. It has everything you need right on board to have all 4 channels of digital mixing goodness. You have your Serato capability, you also have your internal DVS capability, and you have these really nice iconic filters and excellent solid build quality. So for more on the full written review, you can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS or click in the top link of this video description. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.
I'm in my mode, I'm in my mode. I'm in my mode. You talking about cash, I'm talking about gold. I'm talking about gold, you talking about living, I'm talking about soul. I'm talking about forever, you talking about hoes, you talking like hoes. Yeah. Writing on the wall, cry along in my lungs. Sip Porter Rock rum, walk to my own drum, run when I like come. Better see him on a hump from the jump in the dirty ass whip, no bird in the trunk, do work for the whip with the bird in the front. We alert for the cash in the first of the punch, get it like a landlord on the first of the month. One with the sky, when the earth and the blunt, so the way I shine in between dirt and the sun. I'm the perp with the perp, but we serving the skunk to the girl with the donkey and serpent tongue. I'm from the city where we grew up on the dips and a flow moon rock. She just wanna do a dip. You can have a sip if you only wanna lift, in a 6 with a strip if you really wanna trip. Looking through the mist, caught up in the mix with a miss. Could've learned about something, but she rather have bliss. My education was taking my boy medication to see what I made from a flip. Play or resign, you got decisions to make, but you taking your time. Powder roll up in your brain, that's how you make up your mind. Just victims of fatal design.
So what do you got for me? John Doe, between 25 and 30 years of age. Cause of death.